Full disclosure, this is not a long-term repair. This is very similar to the janky foam fill repair idea that floats around all over YouTube. Only I believe it to be better because I'd rather have actual metal there instead of foam and some Bondo plaster. All this is just a piece of 6-inch heating duct for 20 bucks from Home Depot. And in the sec, I'm going to grab the camera and show you how to go and make your own. Now, the reality is stovepipe works just as good, but the problem is stovepipe only comes in usually 24-inch sections. You can get 4-foot sections of stovepipe, but even so, that would only get you to about right in here. So if you're doing a full-length rocker panel, this is a better option, but it's more flimsy, but also easier to work with. Alright, let's show you how it is we made this thing. Alright, so this started out as this. And basically what I do is I take the grinder and I take this entire lip right off of here. And what's nice about dealing with these is they tend to have a flat zone right here that already exists. So then you take your average cheap cereal box and that lines up pretty much with the flat zone you're going to end up with already. So if we take and we pop our door open here and we grab our cereal box and we put our tab there, and then we loop our cereal box strip around, we end up with right there. We add 1 inch and then we bend it with a piece of quarter steel in order to make a tab that goes all the way around the entire thing. This is all wrapped around and pinched all the way down through. And I do one of these for the front and I do one of these for the back. And the reason for that is because most modern vehicles, usually it either tapers in one direction or the other. On a Ford Ranger, for example, this is bigger than this end because of this weird warped-y thing that Ford put in. So over here on the back, we've got the same basic idea. We've got our tab that went in there. We've got our piece that we warped around, and see, it doesn't quite line up. So, yeah, there we go. And then what we do is we take this and we come over here. We put a line there on both ends. We scroll it around. We put a line there on both ends. We measure 1 inch. We put a line. We measure 1 inch. We put another line. And then we mark it all the way down through. The first bend that you do is this one in order to be able to go like this. And then from there, you bend out. Then you put a piece of quarter steel in, and then you bend the lip back around so that that way you can pinch it onto what is left of the bottom down here. Now, as you can see on mine, what I also did was I cut it 3 inches too long. So that let me come in with a grinder and chunk it and then fold it up and screw it in place. The other thing that I do when I do these is I cut out a piece that fits in and I weld it to the bottom piece up here so that we can tie everything together and have some structure. On this right here, what we have is ground off screws. So I'll post a link for these. These are like twice the cost of regular self-tappers. Let me see if I can get it to focus. But it has a Torx head that goes down through and it makes grinding it off really fast. If you have a solid head, it is a lot harder to grind off at times, and this is just so much easier to grind off. So these are about $10 more a pack, and I'll post a link for these. But to me, that extra $10 that saves you an hour worth of time is worth it. So there we go. Now I'm going to fiberglass this section. I'm going to fill this, and then I'm going to fiberglass this. Also buyable at Home Depot while you're there, short strand Bondo. Usually way cheaper on Amazon. I'll post a link down below. We've got that sealed up. Across the top of this, we've run some RTV sealant on here because we're just getting this done. We've fiberglassed in that area there. And I need to squirt the end of this with some RTV to seal it up so that we don't catch anything splashing off of the tire. Here we go. Bunk. And there we are. There is nothing perfect about it, but it's there. It's inspectable, it is metal, and it is painted. So, myself, what I like to do is undercoat everything in this Rust-Oleum high performance enamel. And I've been using this truck bed, man, can't talk, Pro Grade. And honestly, I will probably go back to using the AutoZone Duralast whatever brand because this is caca. I don't like this. So what are we into it? The pipe, if we did it with stovepipe, it would have cost us $40. Doing it with ductwork pipe cost us 20 bucks. Got at least one can of this. So there's like $10. We got a can of this. There's another $10. So we're at 40 bucks. Inevitably, we need to mask things off, whether you use frog tape or whether you use something like this. So there's another $5 or $6. You could do it with regular masking tape also. So, oh, and then the Bondo. So if you went with standard $10 a bucket Bondo, so there's another 10 bucks. So $20 turns into 75 to 80 bucks real quick. Oh, that's just a lighting issue. It's not a hole. Okay. So by the time you're done, you end up into it for 80 bucks in reality. But to buy that chunk right there, the cheapest place that I could find wanted to sell me a set of them for $120, and I still had to put it on, apply it, Bondo the edges in, mount it somehow, or weld it in, or something. So let's go 120 bucks, $10 worth of Bondo. I still got to paint it, I still got to undercoat it. $80 versus $200 sounds pretty good to me. Everybody let me know what you thought, what you think. You know, is this something you would do? Oh, by the way, the other side is done in stovepipe and I painted it yesterday. So this is what it looks like with fresh paint. And I just did a video on this bumper assembly if you're interested in that. And this is what the paint looks like 24 hours later after it dries. And this chunk here is stovepipe. So I didn't do to the end, we just did here in. So that right there is just leftover stovepipe from when I put the furnace in my garage. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you and have a good day.